So good day. We are here to present our takeaways, insights, understanding, perspective about the article that was assigned. So first, let me introduce the group members. So first one is Escobia, then Miss Bocaloy, then Mr. Astoveza, then me myself, Mr. Gonzalez. So now I'll be sharing my understanding. So reading about the Cordilleran women using their bodies as instruments of resistance made me reflect on how we are taught to perceive our own physicality, while modern society often reduces bodies to objects of consumption or shame. So these women transform their bodies into tools of liberation. So for me, it is striking how their protest turns vulnerability into power, something I think many of us wish we could emulate in our own ways. Then I realized now how much I've internalized the idea that my worth is tied to how small I make myself physically, emotionally, and then meanwhile these indigenous women expand their fullness as a political act. Now, to answer the question, what do you think makes their ethics on the sexual and material body different from our current society? So I have identified a lot of, three norms that mention indigenous view and modern society view. So first one is sa body. So the indigenous view is their body is a symbol of power and resistance, not a sexual object. Meanwhile, in modern society, bodies are often commodified, such as advertising, um, pornography, something like that. So the next one is labor naman. In the on the indigenous view, so yung labor roles nila dun is interchangeable between women and men. Like for example, women can farm like men, something like that. So in our modern society naman, it is gendered labor. It nag ano siya, like it divides us from women because yung women, yung mga work nila is very much undervalued in our modern society. And the last one naman, yung norm, is yung land as a whole, like land lupa. So from the indigenous view, yung land nila or yung ownership ng land nila is relational. Like they are tied to their ancestors, gods, or community. Meanwhile, in our modern society naman, yung land or yung lupa is like, yung ownership is like individual. Like ginagawa siya for business, like housing, and so on. So that is all for my part. And now Miss Escobia is sharing hers. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Gonzalez. It is true, no, that today that gender or sex divides the both population. So in the Philippines, as we all know, many people live our lives are still impacted by ethical concerns around the physical and sexual body, particularly those of women, LGBTQ plus people, and disadvantaged populations. So, due to ingrained religious convictions and conservative norms, subjects including sexual orientation, bodily autonomy, and reproductive health are still frequently treated with stigma, silence, or moral condemnation. So, many people still feel ashamed of the decisions they make regarding their bodies, whether they are related to relationships, attires, or birth control availability. And discussions on consent or gender identity are rarely included in regular schooling, and victims of abuse are frequently stigmatized or silenced. Social structures that value tradition over human dignity, a lack of inclusive discourse, and restricted access to sexual health care are the main causes of the issue's continued existence. So, the fundamental problem is acknowledging that everyone has the right to own and comprehend their body free from criticism, shame, or fear. Only until empathy, equality, and education are ingrained in our interactions with one another can change occur. So lastly, for the last question, we have Miss Bukaloy.
Okay. Thank you for the answers, Miss Escobia and Mr. Gonzalez. Um, I've heard it and I do agree that the bodies of Cordilleran women served as a great symbol of power and resistance to the oppressors or for for people who are trying to overcome their land and take advantage of what they have. Um, as for my part, my question, my insights for the ethics of Pansigedan, based on what I've read, it means development of people, development of the community, and the stable condition of life. This, in my perception, this means the preservation and the importance of the environment, also the good well-being of its people who live in that community. It is well intertwined na ang environment and ang well-being of the community is focused on the good, and that is what makes Pansigedan. It is focused on the good not only for the community but also the environment. Um kasi parang yung Pansigedan is resistance to the market-based meaning of development, which is focused on market, yung trading of products and selling. Parang nagagamit yung land nila mostly for selling, trading, and marketing, which is parang magkaiba siya sa goal ng Pansigedan of Cordilleran people. Ayun, parang nagka-clash yung market-based development and Pansigedan. Although parehas sila ng meaning, development, Pansigedan means development, pero magkaiba yung yung goals niya doon sa market-based development. So ayun, yun lang. And based on my research, ang Pansigedan ngayon is an organization which is focused to support individuals and address problems focused on gender-based violence. So, ang Pansigedan ngayon is still ongoing pero isa na siyang organization focused on the community's individual well-being, focused on gender-based violence. So, doon na nagsusumbong yung mga taong may problema on gender-based violence or nagsasuffer sa oppression or violence sa nila, parang gender-based. Mostly siguro sa women to nakafocus. Pero, eto na, moving on to the second part of my question. What can our modern society learn from this? I think that it is still relevant because nag-focus na yung society natin ngayon on development, like puro building na and puro selling, puro about making money, and puro trading, ganun. Parang hindi na natin ginigive importance yung well-being ng mga tao sa community na yon, and also the preservation of the environment, which is ito yung sinasabi ng Pansigedan, which is parang nakafocus pa din sila sa good well-being ng community and the environment. Parang nire-resist niya yung paninira ng environment. So for me, this Pansigedan ethics should be still carried out in our generation kasi wala, hindi tayo magde-develop as a community kung patuloy lang tayo sa mga parang market-based, kung magpapa-overcome sa market-based meaning of development. Kailangan parang nasa sa atin pa din and sa mga leaders natin yung values ng Pansigedan, which is based on development pero preservation pa din ng environment. Yun lang. Thank you. That will be my answer for our third question. And
Okay, so how do we understand the ethics of Pansijadan that can our modern society learn from this? Well, the ethics of Pansijadan is centered on the idea of holistic well-being, a life where the individual, community, nature, and culture are all in balance. So it's a way of living where the development is just about economic progress or material gain, but about creating a good and meaningful life for all. Well, in the Calderaran worldview, Pansajadan means living in harmony with others, protecting the environment, respecting traditions, and ensuring that any form of progress supports the dignity, health, and identity of the people. So, on this case, just like for example, the holistic approach or well-being in our modern society, development often focuses on building cities, increasing income, or creating jobs, but usually it comes with a cost: environmental destruction, loss of culture, or displacement of communities. In contrast, Pansigadan remind us that true development must include emotional, cultural, social, and environmental well-being, and not just financial growth. So, just like for us to connect it with people in nature, for the Calderierans, nature is something to be controlled or exploited. It is something to live with a care for. Also, their idea of well-being includes a healthy environment because the land and water are part of their identity. Modern society also can learn to stop treating the earth as a resource and start treating it as a shared home that we have a responsibility to protect. So, for the community, instead of top-down policies that ignored local voices, Pansijadan encourages community participation and leadership. It also empowers people to define themselves with what development means based on their own culture and needs. This can help modern society create more effective and respectful development programs that actually serve the people, not just infrastructures or corporations. So, in the line of cultural respect and self-determination as well, in the Calderiera, culture is not a barrier of the progress, it's a foundation for it. They protect their ancestral traditions because it guides their decisions and values. A modern society often looks down on indigenous practices as well. But in Pansijadan, it shows that these traditions carry important wisdom, especially when it comes to sustainability, cooperation, and dignity. So, in short, the ethics of Pansijadan teach us that real progress is measured by how much we build or earn, but by how well we live with each other, with nature, and with respect for our shared humanity. It is a powerful reminder that development should serve life and not to destroy it.